All right, guys, we got a super special call today. We got the number one producer in Family First Life USA. Marissa Mazziotti is going to be taking over the beginning of the call here, and we're just going to ask him how he did it, how he is just crushing it in the field, and what you can do to copy what he does and get similar results. So, without further ado, Marissa, it's all for you.
Awesome. Thanks, AP. First of all, guys, big shout out to Alex. Alex does these just hit VP. So congratulations to him and FFL Influence, you guys. He does these calls every couple of Sundays, you guys. It's called the Massive Growth Call. Huge, amazing guests that he gets on these calls, you guys. They're for new agents, agency managers who've been here, and just a huge testament to working on a Sunday, you guys. Sunday's a perfect day. You're either, in the field, you're recruiting new agents, you're, setting up for the week, making sure your leads are here, and just a huge day to not take a break. So Alex Peraza is the epitome of that, guys. He does this every Sunday, never takes a day off, eats, lives, sleeps this business. So Alex, first of all, thanks for having me on. I'm honored to even be here, and even more honored to get to talk to Jesse H. You guys, is the number one producer last month out of FFL USA. You guys, $130,000 issue paid on his own pen, which is pretty insane considering that we have, agency managers and agencies that are trying to do that, as a whole, and he can do it by himself. So a lot of good information that's about to come from him. So if you guys don't have a notepad out, then you're not ready to grow. So get your notes out. Any last minute text you want to get. I can't see why anybody wouldn't want to hear from him. I'm beyond excited. He's on here on a Sunday as well, obviously traveling, he's in a hotel. So big opportunity, you guys. So get your notepads out. Jesse, thanks so much for getting on with us. Like I said, I'm honored to have you on. And if you could just give us a quick introduction, how long you've been with the company, how you found us, how you found FFL, and just off from there.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor and true blessing to be here, because I was just talking to Alex a couple months ago, and Jordan, I forget who else was on there, and the call was fire. And literally, I'm telling you, you guys get connected to more top end producers or people that are doing the things that you want to do, things will start to click. And Maritza, she was on our Relentless call here about a month ago, and I took some tips of how she does travel trips, and oddly, I'm applying to what I'm learning. Now, in regards towards myself, background history, I was a master mechanic with BMW and Tesla for 13 years with BMW, 2 for Tesla. I was a nightlife DJ, did a bunch of after-hour clubs. So party life was very big in my past life. Found insurance about 3.5 years ago, worked with a practice company where it was low contract, recruit the masses, go beg your friends and family and all that fun stuff. Ended up an independent agency, but right around that same time too, I kept getting messages from people from FFL like, hey, Jesse, you can come over here and get this, you can get that. I'm like, that's a scam. There's no way this is possible. There's no way you guys are making over 100%. So I was like, no, I'm going to go to another company. They ended up giving me leads, taking 30% of my deal every time I would close. And I was like, wait a second, I'm at a lower comp now than my last company. And I'm at a higher comp, right? Eventually ended up over here at FFL through a pretty nasty year of COVID. Was on unemployment through the last year because I was like, do I go back to insurance? Do I go back to a job? What do I do? And I was just like, I need to fix me and forgive me of past, fixing a lot of internal things. And I feel like a lot of the times when we're running here through business, we hold on to that type of baggage. I'm sorry, guys, I talk a lot and I get really excited about like growth type things, growth mindset. And but 8 months ago, I was still on unemployment, donating plasma. My first weekend into FFL back in December 20th, was able to kind of just start to turn things around. So, yeah.
Wow. That's seriously that's like when hearing stories like that, it literally gives me chills on how amazing the opportunity is for FFL. Like you're literally donating plasma. Also, you knew about FFL and thought it was too good to be true and then went to another company. So that's pretty crazy as well. So guys, that's just, that's like really pulls at the heartstrings for us too, because it's like, that's how insane that this opportunity is. Like Jesse's literally giving his blood to be able to pay his bills. And now it's like $150,000 a month by yourself. It's just insane, the opportunity that we have here, and insane that anybody can come from, such a place of that and be able to turn it into this, which is just like, it's like anyone can do it. So super amazing. Jesse, I want to get in real quick to the logistics of what you do and how you do it, so the new agents on this call can implement that literally tomorrow, whatever they can take from you. And then Peraza, AP will take over and kind of do some of the growth and the mindset training, which I think is honestly 90% of this business. But 100 last month, we have to know what leads you're running and how much you're spending every week.
When it comes to leads, because I live in Las Vegas, guys, and I'm sure if anybody's looked in the CRM, there's usually like 4 leads in the entire Clark County. So I do a ton of travel. Pretty much anything that's got a phone number, anything that's in that area, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm buying it. I recently started to get onto some lead vendors, and just, I don't know. I still always end up going back to the CRM leads. And for me, my absolute favorite lead here, guys, is the cheapest lead in the CRM. So if you guys are just starting and you're broke, get the cheapest leads. Like, just get cheap leads and then get some instant internet life leads, because instant internet, new internet life leads, they're laydowns. They're easy leads to work. But my personal favorite, now that I've, gotten a little bit of understanding in how to run mortgage leads, by far my favorite things to do, because that's where I'm finding a lot of high ticket sales.
And Jesse, how much are you spending? What would you say your lead investment is?
There's weeks that I'm doing, $1,500, and there's some weeks I'm doing $4,000 to $6,000. So it just depends on what I'm kind of preparing for, like the trip that I'm here. So guys, like I flew out to Dallas on Tuesday or Monday last week, spent like $2,000 in leads there, ran business, did pretty good, working pretty hard. Found some pretty cool sales throughout that process. I think it was around, and guys, like, I want you to understand one thing, like, I'm not special by any means. I'm just a dude that likes to buy leads and likes to work hard. And I have a really strong reason why I want to win. My mom, I want to retire her and I want to take care of her, eventually end up having a family. So like all these preliminary steps, it's a matter of just like fighting through the pain, right? But like, so I spent $2,000 this week, did around 90,000 in the last 7 days.
90,000, 90,000.
Yeah. 5,200 in life, and it was 83,000 on an annuity yesterday. So $830,000 annuity I closed yesterday.
Holy smokes, dude. I just had to say that's insane, dude.
Travel trip too, guys. Like, that was a $1 lead.
Okay, so a lot of good nuggets there, you guys. First things first that he said is every lead is a good lead. So he loves the mortgage leads. He's doing $130,000 a month. But Jesse, would you say it's fair to say that anybody who right now can invest $1,500 to $2,000 a week on CRM leads can easily do 40 to 50K a month?
Yeah, 100%. The thing is the only thing that's going to separate anybody from it's going to be just getting better on the phones. That's it. Like, the money is made on the phones. And if you're not that good, there's thousands of videos, maybe hundreds of videos, maybe not thousands, but tons of good content. I mean, even both of you guys have put out some really good dial content that I've learned from, because I was getting my butt kicked on the phone, like, but by far you could easily make $20,000 to $30,000 only running CRM leads, because the last 8 months, that's all I've ran.
I love that.
And that's CRM leads.
And that's huge, Jesse, because I think that's most relatable to anybody that comes in this business. I had a girl today, not on our team, but she sent me this fake Facebook message of this person that had sent her a message saying, you guys have all these crappy CRM leads, blah, 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 was the words he used. And it's like, guys, the CRM is our blood, like, that's our lifeblood, you guys. That's a lifeline here. When I first came, we didn't have instant internet leads. AP would know too, because they didn't have them when he was here. When we first came, we didn't have instant leads. It was all CRM leads. My first, like, literally 3 weeks was off 3-month mortgage leads. So a lot of great things in what you're saying here, Jesse. First thing, travel trips, guys. He's not scared to get out of his comfort zone. He's not scared to go on a travel trip 5, 6, 7, 8 days. He's in Vegas. There's not a lot of leads there. So there's no chance, $130,000. He's got to get out of his backyard. Second things, guys, is he's not scared to invest. So I think, $2,000 a week on leads minimum. And Jesse's over here saying, if I have to drop $4,000 to $6,000, no problem, because he knows he's going to make it back. So the investment part is there. He's not scared of that. You cannot be scared to invest in leads. It's why the FFL system works. And he's plugged into the system so far that he's like, if you're not good, get on YouTube, guys. The training is everywhere, which is another, like, there's really no chance. You have calls like this and you talk to amazing people like this, like yourself, Jesse, and you realize like, there's no chance that anyone could come here and fail and blame it on the system. Like the only way, like if you plug in and give everything you have to the FFL system and do exactly what your coaches and mentors tell you to do, and exactly what freaking YouTube tells you to do for that amount, for that, it's like you can't fail. So,
Right.
All right, just go into the leads. Tell us what your schedule looks like. When, dial days, how many hours are you putting in? How many dials are you doing? And how many run days do you have?
It really just fluctuates for me because I always have at least 2 dial days, no matter what. Some days I'm doing dials between about 7:45 in the morning to about 9:30 every single day. Because if the next few days are light, I like to plug in a little bit more activity. So if I can even book 1 to 2 more appointments, that might be the difference in actually making a sale that day or not. Because at the end of the day, we've got numbers games, we've got people that are going to no-show us, people that are going to cancel. We might have a lot of this, but at the end of the day, if you put the numbers into your favor, you're going to win. But I did want to touch base on this. It's in regards towards travel trips. Don't be scared to do it. And trust me, it's a lot to be scared of, but it's really not as scary once you arrive. It's only leading up to getting there. But as soon as you get there, you're like, let's go. And guys, when it comes to traveling, like just go do it. But get the tips from the people that are doing it, like your upline. Like I know both of you guys do travel trips like nonstop. And in regards towards that, like I'm going to be gone literally a whole entire month from my house. Like I'm living out of a hotel right now, but I know it's going to turn back around, right? It's the crazy part.
Work harder on travel trips too, because you don't have any distractions. I know for me, I more and I always served way more families when I travel because it's like you have nothing else to do. Like you have to work, you have to door knock, you got to call the leads, and like you're not going to go home and mess around. You're not going to go to the gym in between appointments, whatever it is, because you're in an uncomfortable spot. So you work hard on travel. The reality is, guys, and when you look at travel trips, you have to stop looking at it as like I'm uncomfortable for me. It's like, guys, there's families, all those families. If you look in the CRM and there's 300, 400, 500 leads in the CRM in a place that's not being worked, that's 300, 400, 500 families that have requested our help. And it's our duty to go there and help them. Like, we're not going to help them because of where they live. Like, it doesn't matter. Louisville, Kentucky has 400 instant leads in that's 400 families that are requesting our help. So huge shout out, Jesse, you're going and you're like, hey, I got to protect these families.
And then Jesse, to fully answer it, dial days, anytime, whenever I can dial, I dial. When I am dialing, I just book until I have 15 to 20 appointments for the next couple of days. That might be 300 dials. That might be 1,900, 2,200 dials. I just keep going until I'm there. And it's just a matter of pushing through, because a lot of the times, I believe, who was it, Zach, that always says this? It's like you get your 50, 60 no's and then you get your 15 yeses. So just keep pushing through that no, but keep smiling. Every time like someone like isn't the nicest to you on the phone, just say, God bless you and have a blessed day. And then you automatically feel better about yourself because you're just spreading kindness. And the next person that you're going to get, they're going to feel that kindness rolling through, but you're not bringing that negative momentum, or that it's like, it's like being in a bad relationship prior. You can't bring that to your new one. Same thing applies to the next phone call, the next appointment. Because if not, it's not fair to that client, right? So
that's huge. It's not fair to them for you to bring their negative energy, and they're not going to want to book an appointment with you anyway. So that's huge, you guys. Every single, negative dial or dial that didn't go the way that you wanted to, God bless you and move on to the next one, and always bring that positive, happy energy to the next call. I haven't heard that before. That's pretty amazing too. Okay, Jesse, one more thing. Tell us, there's a lot of FFL resources that have come into play. Work spots is huge, phone burner, things like that. Are those investments that you're making every month to be able to have business at the level that you have it?
Yeah, 1,000%. If I honestly did not have work spots, I would not be in the position I'm at. And it's not to say that I'm working out of a lot of offices when I'm doing a lot of my traveling, but purely having that discount is a game changer. being able to have the resources to get into an office if you are in that area, which is another game changer, which I'm kind of excited. I'm going to try to find one of the, I think it's tri-state, like Mark Mead has an office somewhere in this vicinity. And resources, yeah, definitely using a dialer, definitely using that. Have the ability to work that. But again, if I am using the dialer, guys, make sure you're dialing it only instant internet or the instant internet life leads, because otherwise, since they're not TCP compliant, you know, all that stuff. So
And Jesse, you're talking a dialer as in phone burner, the software helping you.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so dialing all your own leads, that's huge, you guys. Dialing your own leads using the phone burner software. Workspots is huge, you guys. You can't be buying leads and not be on Workspots. It just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't want to save that money. And it's not even necessarily about saving money. It's about you get that many more leads for what you were going to invest anyway. You were going to invest $1,000 anyway and get 100 leads. Now you invest $1,000 and you get, you know what I mean? You get extra leads, and it's about being able to invest more and get more leads. But to have Workspots has literally been a game changer. So Jesse, I'm going to let AP take over here and get into some mindset and growth training. But, you know, just to kind of recap all these nuggets that you gave us, you guys, Jesse dials until the job is done. He starts at 7:30. He doesn't take a break until he has 15 to 20 appointments. He's on Workspots. He's traveling. He's not afraid to get uncomfortable. He's not afraid to invest $1,500 to $2,000 minimum in leads every single week. And he utilizes all the training and the resources that FFL has created. You know what I mean? It's not anything that, you know, and he's a hard worker. It's not anything that you have to do other than work hard and plug into the system. He's not super special, even though he's, you know, obviously an amazing producer. He's telling you right now, guys, anybody can do this. So Jesse, I'm honored to even get to talk to you. I'm honored to get to learn for you. I'm going to take those back into my dials tomorrow when I'm dialing on Monday and take that sort of mindset and attitude thing that you just taught us right there. And I'm going to use that. But thanks so much for getting on. AP, I'm going to let you take over.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude. We really appreciate you hopping on, and this has been incredible. Marissa just killed it, so I just got like insanely fired up just watching this live with you guys. First of all, guys, if you're in the comments, just drop a JH in the comments if this is gold. If Jesse is blowing you away, which he is for sure for me, drop a JH in the comments. Let's give him some love. And then I just wanted to do some. I want to do some mindset questions, but I also wanted to touch on like a couple things like your phone script and your in-home strategy. Because I think one of the differences between top producers and people who are newer agents is their mindset calling people and then their mindset in the home and what they say in the home. Like some people, they just try to blow through the in-home and in 10 minutes they're showing prices and then you know, they're not selling a lot versus other people go into the why and they ask all these questions and they get all the nitty gritty first. So I'll kind of ask you about what you do there, but I just want to confirm, you said 1,900 to 2,200 dials in a day you're willing to do?
Yeah. I mean, when you've got this on like a phone burner type system, anything that can take you away from having to like manually do this, I mean, just think about this. If your system can dial multiple people per minute, opposed to you doing it by yourself, it compounds time, right?
Right.
Now, if you're doing that for 10 to 12 hours a day, you should be able to get to there, right? Now, the other thing too, it's a long drawn out process, but at the end of the day, like depending on what lead you're working, you know, the newer internet life leads, you can usually get through your appointments under 1,000 dials, maybe under 600. But it really just depends on the territory. For me, I've noticed it's territory and timing. And at the end of the day, like when we are talking about all of this business, it's purely broke down to timing, right? Like someone might request it and they may have got 400 phone calls from wherever they requested the information elsewhere. But we just have to give it maybe a couple of days to breathe off. And then you just hit it from a different approach. In regards towards my script, no matter what it is that I'm dialing, I always call as a dispatcher.
Gotcha.
So like we could kind of run through that. So
yeah,
because I've been working, but then when we are doing running mortgage leads, I have a burner phone, like just like another little thingy like that for whatever territory I'm at. So I'm dialing them by hand. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to get in trouble. But with regards towards this, so ring,
Hello.
Alex?
Yeah, who's this?
Alex, this is Andrew. I'm just following up with you in regards to the mortgage protection. It was a form that you'd physically filled out. You mailed it back into us. And it's actually showing here that the file's been flagged for review or is still incomplete. Did anybody ever come out and take care of that with you?
Oh, I think I already have that.
Perfect. And that's the reason for my call here, making sure you're getting the latest discounts based off your age, health, and current medications you're taking. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get this all closed out, and we can go ahead and handle this. Now, just to verify, this may be a new or an old address, but is the 123 Victory Lane still a good address for you?
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. And your birth date's 5572?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And we do have someone dispatched in your area tomorrow morning or afternoon. Which works better?
Oh, you have to come out here physically?
Yeah, we physically have to come by because they are non-medical. We just got to verify you're not strapped down to a hospital bed. You're not having any oxygen and no one's taking insurance out under your name. Again, this takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
I prefer mornings, but do I have to do this or?
You don't have to do anything. We're just sending the information guy over, but this is only going to take a few minutes. And this is something that you had at one point in time requested and making sure that your family's taken care of. And you would probably find value in that, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, mornings or afternoons. We do have an availability at 9:30 or 1:30.
Probably 9:30 would be better.
Perfect. And when Jesse gets there, is there any gate codes, any large hippos or elephants he's got to worry about bringing snacks for?
No hippos, just a couple elephants out there.
Okay, perfect. Make sure to bring some apples for him. And no gate codes or anything like that. And your wife will be home, correct?
Yeah, she should be home.
Perfect. Okay. And now, Alex, I'm going to go and give you Jesse's name, phone number,
Okay.
the license number. So, we could spell that all out, but that'll
Okay,
take less
gotcha.
time.
Mhm.
So we give them name, phone number, license number. And the reason why I'm giving you this information, Alex, is to verify he is who he is, because as much as we want to verify you are who you are, I want to make sure we can return the same respect to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And what time was that appointment for tomorrow?
9:00.
Or at
9:30.
9:30. He'll be there between about 9 and 10. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. All righty, Alex. Have yourself a blessed day. Okay.
Oh, thank you, man. You too.
All right. Thank you. Dude, and that's it. Like
Boom.
a lot of the times, like objections, oh, I can't afford it. Okay, perfect. These programs are designed for people on fixed income, Social Security, and disability. They're made to be extremely affordable.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure. I'm not really interested. We're not really interested either. But this reason you're not interested is because you're concerned about the price or getting qualified.
Right.
Oh, both of them. Perfect. Well, all these programs, again, are designed for people on fixed income, Social Security, and disability. They are non-medical programs, so everybody can have a chance to get approved. It only takes about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and stop by tomorrow. Does that sound fair?
Boom.
So, dude, it's just, but if you listen to the language, it's literally like the same script, just with either I'm calling about the mortgage protection, I'm calling about the insurance request you did online. And all I'm doing is switching 2 words, and the rest of the script is exactly the same.
Perfect. So when you have instant internet leads or 3-month-old, you'll say insurance request. Because I know some people say state regulated life insurance. You might say just insurance request. You submit it online, right?
Yeah, I'll just say, or a lot of times, hey Alex, I'm calling in regards to the state regulated life insurance request. I was the one that you filled out just to verify this is your address, your birthday. And I always try to get the yeses right in the beginning, because if we can start to pre-program them to say yes, booking the appointment usually turns into a yes as well.
Perfect, dude. So, and then, I threw in a couple curveballs in there to kind of see how you would handle those, because we all get those all the time, right?
Nonstop, dude.
Nonstop. So you're fully prepared when it comes to handling objections on the phone. You're not surprised when they come up. You're like, all right, this is another objection. Like, let's just keep going. So
now, I don't really look at objections of objections. It's just there's a concern and we have to figure out how to solve for X. Right.
Gotcha.
A lot of the times when we hear an objection, we're like, oh my God, World War III. And we pause. But the thing is like, doesn't matter what you say, just say something. Don't have a pause, but if you are asking a question, have it be a question you know what to answer is most likely going to come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned about getting qualified or the price? Both, or the price. Perfect. Again, they're designed for people on fixed income, Social Security, and disability. They're made to be affordable. Okay. And that way I know exactly like, okay, if he says yes or no, I'm going here.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Now,
that's good. Keep going.
Now, in regards towards like actual in-home and guys, like the thing is like I just dial a lot and I run a lot of appointments, and I don't know what it is lately. My no-show rate has been really like high, like stupid high. So I feel like there's some crazy season I'm like breaking through right now because but the weird thing is like, as long as I keep booking my 10, 20, 30 appointments a week, or my 15 to 20 appointments for my 2 run days, and then I'm doing it again. So total 30 to 40 appointments per week, I'm still always going to come out on top, because I might have a bad day, I might have a bad weekend, but I'm not going to have a bad week. I'm going to force myself to get something in there. I'll never have a week where I don't sell at least one policy. But the crazy thing is like, sometimes that one policy that you sell might happen to be an annuity for like 150,000. Might happen to be like an $800 AP app. But the thing is as long as you're getting a little bit of momentum through that win, and you're constantly just pushing and pushing and pushing, you can't get in your head about it because you're focused on the activity. You're not focused on the results.
Absolutely. And as far as in-home goes, and one last question with the dialing. So when you're dialing, do you like wait for it to dial the like ring for like the full minute or 30 seconds that it rings, or you just like let it ring 4 times and then go to the next one? What would you do?
I guess it depends on which round I've like, because if it's the first round I've hit the numbers, I'll let it usually go to voicemail. The second and third, I'll let it maybe do like 3 or 4 dials, and then I just hang it up, because I just need to keep clicking, because we have to keep the momentum rolling, and I can't stand listening to the ringtone. And I'll be honest with you, the ringtone I turn off, I just kind of like, okay, they're not there yet. Next.
Oh yeah, you can turn it off on phone burner, right?
Yeah, like it drives me nuts. It gives me anxiety listening to the ringing all day. So I have to turn that off. I'd rather listen to complete silence, and I can multitask on my computer and have like 2 or 3 screens going, and
Oh wow, so you'll have like different phone burner setups.
No. Like I've got like, so for instance, like if I'm in a hotel, I have like a HDMI hooked up to the TV, and I move the table and I put it right there. So I'm using the TV as a screen, and then I've got my calendar on one, I've got all my leads on another, and then I'm using my computer to actually utilize the dialer with. So having that, I can multitask, and I'm always taking notes on my spreadsheets that I use of the leads, color coding that to my calendar, so everything matches. Anywhere I'm at in America, all I got to do is go on my phone, go to my spreadsheet, and go to my calendar, and colors all match, so I can keep track of like, was it a no-show? Okay, I got to follow up with them. Was it a reschedule? Okay, I got to follow up with them. Was it a sit, not a close? Different color, right?
Right.
Because if I'm getting that, I can stay organized. There's a really good chance I'm here for another 2 to 3 weeks. Like you may not say yes today, but I'm going to close you before I leave.
Boom. I love that mindset, dude. And I want to make sure before we finish up the call, we do kind of go over your in-home strategy and your closing tactics that, because everyone wants to know, everyone gets the same objection. I want to think about it. Right. So how do you avoid that one and some of the other common ones? And then kind of how do you set up the in-home so you don't have that, and your mindset going into the home?
Realistically, every time I buy a lead, I think this person's going to die or this person needs my help. I need to just make sure I can do this. And even if the lead is aged, like I was looking at some of my leads here in New Jersey, they're from 2009, like 2009. And I'm going to call them, act like it's not a big deal. Right. Now, at the end of the day, though, they still need my help, regardless of how old the lead is, because you may not understand, like they may have just re-requested that, but the form I have might not be it, right? But the big thing about mindset is walking into the house knowing I'm here to help. Every time I'm about to make a phone call, everybody wants to talk to me and they can't wait to get help from me. I'm the number one person that's going to be able to help them with this, and I've been trained to do this, and I've got the team to back me on this, right? So walking into it thinking that you're the number one person to help this family, and it's not to say that from like a cocky standpoint, like the ultimatum, like Top Gun. No, it doesn't mean like that. But like, since I'm the one that has the lead, I'm the one person that's there to be there. Like I'm the number one doctor to fix the situation, right? Walking into a house in regards to avoid a lot of the objection, it's the initial structure. So walk in. So like, let's just say I walk into a house, right? We walk in, okay, cool. Shoes on or off. And then I'm guiding them to the table. Well, can we just sit here on the couch? No, we need to sit here at the table. Let's say the TV's on. I'm like, hey, where's your remote at? And I just grab it and turn it off. And then I sit down. Since I'm right-handed, I always make sure the client's on my right-hand side and say, okay, I need you to sit here because I'm going to be writing on my iPad. I want you to see the notes that I'm taking and understand, because I'm going to explain some things very simply and it's going to go through real quick. Okay. So we sit down, I pull out my iPad, I pull out my license. Okay, so Alex, here's my license here for the state of New Jersey. And then they're like, okay, they're looking at it. I pause for a second. All right, go ahead and flip it over. I'm a representative of Family First Life, and we're working with all these A+ carriers. Most of them have been around over 100+ years. You have the ability to get programs that are going to be affordable, comfortable for your budget, and most importantly today, if we can get you to qualify. Now, Alex, I did see here, it was a life insurance request, but we do specialize in mortgage protection, life insurance to take care of cremation or funeral, or even safe retirement planning. Out of these three, which are the ones that you were probably most concerned with?
Right. Let's say life insurance.
Perfect. Okay. Now, Alex, like I mentioned, my job's really simple here. I'm going to ask you some medical questions, some financial questions, and upon getting you qualified, I will need to verify your ID, your social, and your banking info. Do you have any questions?
Why do you need all that? I thought this was just information.
Yeah, it is just information, but upon getting you qualified here, the life insurance company needs to verify you are who you are, making sure there's no DUIs, background check, any crazy, illnesses or anything like that. So we've got to do our verification process. And as well, in order to verify the banking, you could potentially get some discounts with some of our top carriers. Does that sound fair?
Okay.
Perfect. Go through the inventory. And this is something that I personally do. I always do name, age, and then I ask about the mortgage. Are you renting? Do you have a mortgage? Okay, go to that. Okay, so I want to try to find out the equity. Are you paying anything extra on the mortgage? If it is a mortgage, yes. Okay, because if it is a yes, that might be money I can get to put towards life insurance. Okay.
Right.
Now, next thing I do, I skip their personal income and I go to medical questions. So I want to find a little finance, but I want to go usually name, age, medical questions, or I go name, age, mortgage, rent, then medical questions, because if someone's talking a little bit more about their medical history, whether it's prescriptions, their stroke, their cancer, whatever it might be, now they're opening up. And it's getting real at this point. Okay, cool. Well, good thing is I work with all these carriers. We're going to find a program and get qualified today. Okay. Then once I get all of that data, then I'm going into how much is it that you personally make right now?
Right.
Let's say 3,000. Okay, perfect. Now, Alex, would you consider yourself more of a saver or a spender?
Probably spender.
Okay. Now, the good thing is you, from what you were telling me, you do spend a little bit extra towards paying this mortgage off, though, right?
Oh yeah, I try to save a little bit. Like I save maybe $500 a month or something. And
you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a good job because most people don't save $5. So hats off to you on that. Now, Alex, outside from this, no life insurance, correct?
I think I have one through work, a little policy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you have anything else currently in place that acts like life insurance, like a 401k, an IRA, stocks, bonds, significant savings?
I have like $100,000 in a 401k.
Okay. Is that from the current or the past employer?
That's my current employer.
Okay, cool. Now, the reason I'm asking these detailed questions is because that might be more juice to find what I need to do next. Every single house that I'm in, I always ask those two questions. Are you more of a saver or spender? And do you have anything else that acts like life insurance? And I would say if I'm running instance, I find maybe one annuity every probably like 20 to 50 appointments. When I'm running mortgage leads, it tends to be much higher.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah. So realistically, guys, at the end of the day, like anybody can do this. Anybody can have this. All you got to do is buy leads, put the work in, keep the positive attitude. And, you know, I got this tip from a guy that's like 76 years old at the gym one day. And he said, look, Jesse, I like you. I see you're wearing the cross. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And he's like, look, what you need to do, you need to fill your mind with good things. You need to fill your body with good things. You work out every day and praise God. And ever since he said that, like everything that I do, it's like, okay, what am I eating when I'm on the road? What am I listening to fuel my mind? Who am I either keeping in my ears or who am I getting out of my ears? Because it's so crazy. If you got one person that calls you nagging, it can throw off everything for you. So like
right.
Family members will sometimes call you or like put doubt on you about like, oh, you're doing that insurance thing. Like, are you making good money? Like, dude, yeah, I'm killing it. But
I have the same experience.
But it's not to me like, yeah, I'm killing it. Like you're terrible and I'm better than you. It's like, dude, I just work hard and I put the numbers in place. And I honestly, to be completely transparent with you, like back in December when I was still donating plasma on unemployment, I was literally thinking like, all I want to do is hit Hall of Fame this year. Like, I think it's possible. Like 400,000 seems like such a big number. And then I started putting my numbers together and I'm like, dude, I might be able to close it out this month.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm freaking out about this. And the crazy thing out is like, we're just humans. We all put our pants on the same way. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's a matter of what are you utilizing to spend that time with, whether you're building, recruiting, making phone calls. Cause like, guys, I literally just landed. I got to the airport today at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, been on the plane all day, got here straight to a podcast. And now I'm going to start dialing to get ahead of the curve. My favorite days to dial are on Sundays. And I usually will dial for like 4 to 5 hours every Sunday, because if I can get that preliminary push come Monday and I'm already 4 to 6, 7 appointments in, my Mondays are now condensed. Now I could potentially start running in the field already.
Right.
And then on your dial day, you go and close an app or two. It's a game changer. Dude,
absolutely. Well, we really appreciate having you on, dude. I think there was one question that we wanted to ask you, and then we'll finish up because I know you're already a little bit over the time here.
You're good, dude. We can keep stretching this out. If you guys got more questions, I want to pour some good stuff into the team. You know, if there's something I can do. Now I have been getting a lot of requests for like annuity questions.
Right.
I'm probably going to be recording something here soon in regards to how I'm doing this to hopefully teach and train more people on the annuity level of what I'm doing personally. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have you on for like 5 or 10 more minutes just to make sure we hammer down the number one questions that people have. So the number one question that we have is, how do you overcome the objection of, I don't want to do anything today. I need to think about this. I have to talk to someone, my kids. So
those are my favorite objections.
Yeah.
So when I hear, oh, we just got to think about it. You know what? Totally understand where you're coming from, Alex. The insurance company's got to think about it too. So while you guys are thinking about it over the next, probably 2 or 3 days?
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe a week we'll know.
Perfect. So it typically takes anywhere from a week to 3 weeks to get approved. While you're thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and get this submitted today and see if we can get you approved. Okay. We won't know for about a week or so. And if we can't get you approved, fantastic. And if not, you know, we've got another 25 carriers we might be able to work with. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah. And for me, like almost every time I'm into the appointment too, like right prior to where I'm showing prices, I usually will like start to break down whatever the amount of coverage is to what it's going to solve for. Like $30,000 is going to give you $15,000 for your burial, $5,000 for your wife, $3,000 for this, and this, boom, boom, boom. So we're not looking at $30,000 to $250. We're looking at $30,000 and it's going to solve these problems. $25,000 is going to solve these problems. Whatever the problems you want to solve for, this is the price. Now, when I'm in that position, I'll say something like, out of these programs, once I've broke it all down and explained what they're going to do, which of these would you prefer to go with while you're thinking about it? Which of these do you want to see if we can get you qualified while you're thinking about it?
Wow. So I'll pick the middle one.
Perfect. So we're going to shoot for the 25,000. That's a fantastic choice, Alex. No matter what program the client picks, it's always a good choice. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Now, Alex, they got some great news. Upon getting you qualified here today, we'll know here probably in the next week or so if we can get you approved. Now, the good thing is with this being said, let's say in the next 30 days, you wanted to go ahead and increase the amount of coverage you can. All we got to do, you call me, we can bump that up. That's not a problem. But I would rather start low and increase it. So that way you're going to be in the most comfortable position for you today.
Gotcha. So even if it's like 25 grand, you'll be like, oh, we're starting low, right? You're never going to tell them they can decrease. You're just going to say we're starting low and you can increase.
Yeah.
That's the psychology behind it.
The one reason why I want to do it that way is because if they call me in 2 weeks and say, hey, you know what? We applied for the 25 and I want the 10 now. I don't want to have to deal with that chargeback.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't even know that. So if you lower it, you still get a chargeback?
Yeah. Because if you get the advance on it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like, okay. Let's say we're running with Americo, you get the advance, we get a $25,000 payout. And I'm like, okay, 25,000, let's say it's $2,400, and then whatever it might be with our commission, let's say it's $2,000 that you're getting hit in your bank account, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would rather not have another $1,000 I have as a chargeback now because they lowered the coverage to be comfortable. Where if I would have just brought them what they want, sold them exactly what they wanted, actually not even selling them, I served them the exact program that they needed and didn't oversell them, then it's going to put me into a better position where chargebacks will be less. And then as well, the client is in the most comfortable situation. And let's just say in 30 days, I always call them like, hey, did you get your policy? Nope. Okay, cool. Let me figure out. So I have my assistant call a carrier, be like, hey, they never got the policy. We've got 2 days to where we can go ahead and increase the coverage, or did you want to keep everything the same? Let's just keep it here, Jess. Like, I feel really comfortable with this. Alex, it's a fantastic idea. Keep everything exactly where we're at.
Okay, perfect. And then how do you map out what to give them? So you ask them all the health questions, and then eventually you ask them the financial questions, right? Like their income and stuff.
So as we're running through it, medical questions, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, stents, COPD, whatever they say yes to, I'm pre-positioning. I always pre-qualify with Americo, because if Americo can give me a pre-qualification, that's usually a good sign of where I can go. But let's just say clients got congestive heart failure. They got COPD. They've got a heart attack in the last 6 months. Okay. Our underwriting guide tells us what? That's not going to work, correct?
Right.
So there's no reason. I mean, you could still do the pre-check, be like, okay, cool. The medications are kind of going to pass. But if they've got COPD, a congestive heart failure, something that's never going to pass, I usually go with the carriers that are going to pass it. So like congestive heart failure, Prosperity, COPD, Aetna,
Right.
And the reason why I'm doing that, I want to make it fast and efficient, but take your time too, getting to know the person, take your time in understanding the situation. And I feel like people are going to spend the time and spend the money if you're giving that information to them. You're being very informative. Like when I was actually in Texas last week, one of my first appointments was a $1 lead. Got there, guy had 4 policies.
Right.
One was expiring. The premium was going from $130 a month to $1,400 a month. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So $130 to $1,400 per month.
Wow.
He's like, I can't afford this. I'm like, yeah,
right.
I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of did the price conditioning, find out that he had 2 graded policies. He and his wife both had graded policies. And then he had another policy that was level benefit, but it was low coverage.
Right.
And then I started to map it all out. And I was like, okay, well, we could go here, 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 and save you money, get you more coverage, and you each have 1 payment going out per month. How does that sound? He's like, dude, that's insane. and all I did was I solved for X. That's it. I solved for X. And then because I went through the financial inventory, he said, yeah, I've got some retirement funds. I just circle it. I don't get deep into it at the time.
Right.
I close the insurance. I want to get the low hanging fruit. And this is one thing I had to learn the hard way. because I was like, well, they've got an annuity. I could just go ram that in right now. No, they're not going to hand this over to you until they have the trust.
Right.
Unless
Right.
they can't qualify. But so we sell them that, and then we could circle back around for anything else. But guys, like I'm super passionate about this. I could talk for like 16 days. Like
We love it, dude.
I ran into Gage last night in Dallas, and he's like, bro, I'm not really a recruiter. And I was like, dude, I love talking to people. Like, just come with me, watch this, dude. And we're talking to people. I got like 5 or 6 phone numbers. And guys, spread your business around. Just keep loving on people, spread the kindness, don't give up, push through the walls when you're getting weak. You know, and when you're starting to think too much, get on a podcast, because it's usually something that you're lacking, and it's an easy place to be, but all you got to do is just elevate yourself. Because when you can elevate yourself, you're going to be there.
Exactly, dude. That was insane, dude. Like I said, we really appreciate you on this call. Like, I want to hear you talk for hours, actually. And I have like I could like probably ask you 10 more questions, but I mean, pretty much I'll let it finish off. But did anybody have like a last question they wanted to ask him? I don't know. But the only question that I kept thinking this entire time is, what does he do when it's internet lead, right? And I'm like, what is he doing to evaluate what to sell them, right? And then how does I know Caitlin, right? She sold 120 grand last month as well, right? So I remember watching in the Slack, she's like, okay, this person canceled the appointment, but I still showed up, and I sold them a policy for their equity protection. And I also sold them a separate policy for their final expense. So she's selling them multiple policies and made 10 grand in that one house at the person that canceled. Right. So, I mean, I'm just like, okay, so what's the mindset and the mapping that you do to like, okay, this person's 72, I'm selling them this, or this person's 35, I'm selling them that. That's the last question, and then we'll finish up.
So when it does come down to age, I want to be able to solve for a few things. What is going to make the most sense? What can their budget tolerate? And what are their goals? What are we solving for? If it's just I'm 65 years old, I want a cremation or funeral. Okay, cool. So I'm going to probably sell them a whole life or do some stacking with that.
Right.
If it's a 28 to 30-year-old, I'm going Americo CBO 9.9%. Like 99% of the time I'm doing that, unless they're like, Jesse, I want to dump $3,000 to $5,000 into something to have tax-free retirement, which I do have. You know, I've had clients as high as $3,000 to $5,000 per month into their life insurance contracts.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like literally the way that I sold that, it was, you know, a younger couple, the husband's 47, she's 29, 30, I think she's 30 and he's 47. And we had the ability, because they wanted tax-free income and living benefits. I found a carrier that could solve for this problem. Guys, like, I'm not special. I just did the research. I solved for the problem. But a lot of the times too, like, it's really simple. Go to Americo. They've got the thing that we can fix for, whether it's living benefits, whether it's got whatever. And if not, we jump over to Aetna for our senior clients, jump over to Prosperity for our people a little bit more unhealthy. Like, the way that you can break it all down, it's off of what is their needs and how much can they afford and what are we solving for? It's really not that complicated.
Boom.
Age, health, medications, what are they looking to solve for? Cremation, funeral, mortgage protection. And then if we can go ahead and solve for whatever that might be. Now, to elaborate on the same thing Caitlin did, let's say they've got a mortgage, hook them up with a term, hook them up with a CBO. On top of that, get them a permanent policy, because once this does expire, at least they have something totally covered for life. And that's one thing I like to sell is guarantees. Right.
Absolutely. Guarantees. That's what people like to buy too. Dude, that's insane, bro. Like I said, we could talk for hours, but I really love everything that you did this entire call, man. Everyone drop a hell yes if Jesse crushed this call. And I'm going to put this recording on YouTube, and people can watch it and learn with Hamadi and Wichard and all the other calls that we did. But dude, I'm super pumped, and we really appreciate having you, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, guys. And let's go have some massive growth.
Let's go, dude. Have a great day, guys.